Tara, I was just thinking, what if there's an instrument that you could add to a rock band to make it sound completely orchestral?
There is.
What's that, Tara?
The Mellotron.
Okay, so we're going to have a look at our favourite Mellotron songs that feature this magical instrument, which I heard best described as an orchestra in a drinks cabinet that could be brought around on tour. It was an early type of synthesizer for anyone that's not familiar with it. It used tape loops to reproduce the sounds of the voices that it had built into it, which were pretty basic at first. There was a flute and there was a choir, and then there was a kind of string arrangement that you could add to things. But it got more and more complex as it evolved, and some people could even request their own sounds to be put into the Mellotron from the company. So it came from a company called Birmingham called Mellotronix, and a chap worked there, a guy by the name of Mike Pinder, who was a member of the Moody Blues and recommended it to the Beatles, and they used it on Strawberry Fields Forever. So a lot of people are familiar with that, but I think it was actually Graham Bond who first used the instrument in the record. Anyway, let's get beyond that. So I couldn't rank what I came up with, but Tara could.
Now, I ranked it again based off when I heard it, how much of an impression it had on me. And yeah, I'll get started, will I?
No, I'll go first, Tara. I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay, and listen, what we're saying is this is highly subjective, okay? So we're not saying these are the greatest Mellotron tunes ever recorded, but they're songs that we particularly like. So I based it on what kind of jumped into my head when I thought Mellotron. Give me a song that really displays what this instrument does. For me, the first song that jumped into my head was The Fountain of Salmacis, with those huge swells created by the Mellotron. And I believe it was actually banned off Italian radio because of the swells. Yeah, Jesus. I thought it might have been something to do with the lyrical content. But apparently it was banned off the radio because it was kind of orgasmic sounding.
Too epic.
So there we go. So my first one is The Fountain of Salmacis from Nursery Crime by Genesis.
Now, the one I chose was a single off of this album, Script for a Jester's Tear. Now, it wasn't released on the original album, but since then there's been remixes, remasters. I don't know if Stephen Wilson's had his hands on it yet, but I'm sure he'll get there. Grendel is the song I chose because I first heard it not long ago. It was only a couple of years ago. I was on a bus. I had headphones in on a bus, trying to ignore all the strange sounds that you hear on an Irish bus. Anyone from here will know what I'm talking about. And yeah, I had it on full blast and I could hear the organ kicking in and I was going, yeah, this is really good. And at the end, this moment of Mellotron just went, whoa, and the goosebumps were just like, oh my god. So yeah, I have chosen Grendel for my first pick for this video.
The Mellotron, yes, particularly goosebumpy instrument altogether. I find myself kind of getting very emotional at some points when it swells up in music. So we mentioned him already, the great Mike Pinder from the Moody Blues, and I was trying to think of one that that kind of sums it up, and I picked my song from Every Good Boy Deserves Favour. Absolutely crazy song, brings the whole thing to an end. This is the kind of story of humanity's journey with music and civilization and everything. And at the end, Mike Pinder he had this piece of music and he wanted to have a feeling of an alien intelligence looking at the earth from below. And the story goes that the producer, Tony Clark, said, are you thinking of somebody floating above the earth in a spacesuit? And he said, I could be. And he said, how do we reproduce this? So apparently Mike Pinder had a box on his head with a microphone inside the box breathing into it. long before Darth Vader was ever invented. And all the other guys in the band were in the control room, the studio, falling around laughing like at the sight of him in the place. But absolutely like amazing Mellotron work on that song. And in fact, you know, I didn't want to pick, you know, something that was just obvious from the Moody Blues, like Nights in White Satin or something like that. So I picked that, and it's amazing, absolutely wonderful piece of music. So Mike Pinder, The Moody Blues, my song.
Strange concept, but such a beautiful song as well, like just gorgeous.
Yeah.
So my next pick is a song that actually was released very recently, and it's by a metal band who I would describe as progressive metal, Mastodon. So on their new album, Hushed and Grim, they released this song. This was the single that came out before the album came out, More Than I Could Chew. And it starts off with Mellotron, which I thought was fabulous because it's not something you really hear in modern music anymore. And the way they did it was very mysterious and oh God, what's about to happen? But it sounds fantastic. If you haven't checked it out yet, definitely do. And yeah, the minute we spoke about making a Mellotron video, it came straight into my head. It's definitely one of my favourites at the moment. So yeah, More Than I Could Chew, Mastodon.
Mastodon, actually a band that you don't hear spoken about enough in prog circles, I think. You know,
absolutely.
absolutely kind of great band. Yeah, okay. So my next one is, I picked the Rain song from Led Zeppelin, from Houses of the Holy. And I mean, I can't say anything about it. Just the Mellotron just provides this wonderful ambience throughout that song, which is a beautiful piece of music actually.
Yeah.
So I really don't have anything more to add to that. Really,
It's like
I
you're
can't say
floating
more. Yeah, it's just
along a stream.
just the chords
Robert
and the
Plant
you know.
sings to you.
Yeah, okay, Tara. Yeah,
Sorry,
we've got that. That's enough.
Enough fantasizing. So my next pick was one of the first Mellotron songs I heard when I was a kid, and Watcher of the Skies. Of course, this album opens with it, and it's like epic, so epic. And we got to go and see Steve Hackett playing it last year, and the guy that played the Mellotron just was spot on. It was like hearing the album, and you know, just Steve Hackett being in front of you as well while that's happening. It's kind of like, wow, what's happening? Like, so yeah, I had to pull this one out. It was like a necessity for Mellotron.
Fantastic, yes. Well, the Mellotron is really, you know, it's become very associated with prog, hasn't it?
Yeah,
you know, throughout
yeah.
the years.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful instrument, but you know, a lot of people are picking this out as kind of a template for the prog album. I'm not kind of 100% convinced with that actually,
Yeah.
you know, because I think once you define a thing, you kind of constrict it.
Yeah.
And part of what prog is all about is that it, you know, it pushes against convention all the time. Okay, so I mean, on this, you know, the kind of usual one that people would pick would be Epitaph, but I think the title track in The Court of the Crimson King is it's just magnificent use of the Mellotron. But having said that, I couldn't make my mind up.
Oh,
So I'm sorry, Tara. You know, and we were only allowing one
why
song
is it
per
always
band.
King Crimson?
They have to come in everywhere, you know. So Starless on this too. There's just kind of, you know, two chords on a Mellotron
I
that
can't
just
argue with that,
absolutely make it. So I couldn't make my mind up between them. So, you know, give me a break, will you? Go on.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah.
So my next one, of course, I had to pull out Mr. Pinder as well, is On the Threshold of a Dream. It starts off with, what's his name?
Graham Edge,
No,
Justin Hayward.
Justin Hayward. God's sake. I look like such a phony. Justin Hayward starts off and he's saying, I think I am, therefore I am. And this crazy noise happens and everything. It goes into the album and we get to Graham Edge saying another poem and into Have You Heard? And then bang, Mike Pinder comes in on the Mellotron, and the song is called The Voyage, and it's a voyage, okay? Like it's like you're in space, in this big spiral in space, the way he made it sound. Ooh, like, I sound like a nut job right now, but
No, if you listen to it,
please.
if you listen to it, you will be a nut job. No, it's fantastic. Yeah, great
Amazing
choice.
Mellotron. I had to pull this one out. Like, I just highly recommend checking it out if you haven't heard it, and if you have, you obviously know what I'm talking about, so you won't think I'm nuts.
Okay. I hope you're not nuts there, huh? Okay, now I'm going to break with convention. I'm going to introduce a CD.
Oh my god.
Damnation by Opeth. I remember when this came out and I heard it. I went, oh my god. Oh my god. So, yeah, fantastic. This album just absolutely soaked in Mellotron. The instrument hadn't been heard for an awful long time. There was little touches of it on King Crimson's Comeback.
Yeah.
I remember when I heard the Vroom EP, and then when I heard Thrack and it at the start of Dinosaur and everything like that. But I chose the song Window Pane from this, which is the opening track. Absolutely amazing use of Mellotron on that as well. Yeah, so that's my my final pick, then Window Pane by Opeth.
And my final pick is a really hard-hitting, epic Mellotron song. And it's probably one that people weren't thinking of as well. Grave New World by the Straws.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh my god, like, this is one now where you feel like your skin is lifting off you because the goosebumps are like, "Argh!" Like, it's so good, you know, and it's very political in a really, like,
very impactful
really,
sense,
yeah, impactful. You're, oh my god, I feel this, like, but they use the instrument so well. And it really helps to kind of hit that message with you as well. Like, you know, this is serious business, like. And yeah, this had to be my number one.
Amazing album, actually. Side one of that album is fantastic. But then it's one of these albums that side two just collapses.
Yeah.
You know. Blue Weaver played the Mellotron on it as well.
Yeah.
Who went on to play on Saturday Night Fever with the Bee Gees and make loads of money.
Has to be done.
So they're our picks anyway. So as we said, they're completely subjective. They're just what came into my head when we said Mellotron, and pretty much the same with you.
You know, we're very, very far from gatekeepers on this channel. Like, and, you know, we had an incident recently in the big progressive rock Facebook group. Tarkus is the profile picture on it, and it has thousands of people in it. And when I posted our last video into it, the admin kicked me out of the group and blocked me from it because he is a gatekeeper.
Yes.
And that's not what we do here. We are far from it, and we love hearing all your views on everything. So let us know what your Mellotron picks would be in the comments.
Yes, yeah, fantastic. Be great to hear from it, because if we can learn something from you, we're always up for it. So
we love hearing new things. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to us because it helps.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, we look forward to engaging with you in the comments as well. So thanks very much. All the best. Bye bye.